what's up. Gonna take you through a whole day of low carb eating, kind of no carb we call it, but it's not really no carbs, you'll find out. But right now, just before we start, drop me a thumbs up right now. I'll give you a second, because that's gonna really help my video out. Okay, done? All right, let's get on with this.
Can you dig it?
Kicking off the low carb day with 4 whole eggs, 2 egg whites, 3 of these like little baby tomatoes, half a pepper or capsicum, depending on where you're from, what you call them, and then some low sugar, low salt tomato sauce, which is just really low in calories. And that's meal 1. So that right there is me watching my comfort zone challenge on the vlog. So make sure you check that out, my last video, if you haven't seen it. Just having myself the coffee, and I just wanted to say about coffee that I'm probably going to take, I think next week, I'm going to cut out coffee and cut out my pre-workout for maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. Because coffee and sometimes pre-workout, you can build a tolerance to it, the caffeine. So I'm just going to take some time off that to get rid of that tolerance, so it'll affect me more when I go back on it, so I can get more use out of it. I was going to start that this week, but I decided, because I'm going to start low carbs and I know it's going to be tough, I'm not going to do it, especially because like right now, like the eggs meal, like it was a big meal, but because there's no carbs in it, I just don't feel as full. So having this coffee kind of just gives me like something else to do, fill me up a little bit, that sort of thing, you know? Okay, it is, what time is it? 5 o'clock. I'm so tired, so tired. I had headache pretty much all day today. It's kind of dying down a little bit now. It started last night. Low carb headaches, that's pretty much because like when you go on low carb, you're gonna tend to get rid of a lot of your salt levels, your water levels sort of thing. So it's kind of like partly dehydration. So make sure you're drinking lots of water. That's what I was doing. I've got a bit lazy now because I'm tired. Okay, anyway. So it's 5 PM, just gone, and I'm about to have only my second meal or thing for the day. I had the one meal this morning at like, what time was it? I think it was about 10:30, and I haven't eaten since then. Not that you have to do that, it's just I'm used to fasting, and because on low carb diets it's a lot of veg and stuff like this, I'd rather just kind of eat it in like less meals and get it over with, than just spread it out and have like loads of crappy, you know, chicken and veg meals all day long. So that's why I haven't eaten, although that's probably why I'm super tired as well. So I'm gonna get the next thing in now. All right, next I'm gonna have a protein smoothie shake. On the low carb days, I have 2 forms of like protein powder. So I've got the shake and I've got protein pancakes, which I'll show you later. And I don't have any more than 2 because you want to make sure you're having real food as well. But by having those 2 things, for me, I find like they're nice, they're tasty, I enjoy them, and it breaks up like that monotony and that horribleness of having like chicken and veg or whatever all the time. And also, since there's a couple of things that I prefer, like I don't like eating nuts, don't like eating avocados, it makes it a lot easier for me to just throw them all and blend them in a smoothie. So in the smoothie, I'm gonna have water obviously as the base, avocado, which is going to give it the thickness, and also tons of good fats in here. And I'm not too fond of eating avocados on their own, so that's why I choose to put avocados and nuts in my smoothies, because then I get the benefits, and I don't mind the flavors too much. It's more the textures I don't like, so it's a way of getting those in, right? Also with avocado, there is carbs in there, okay, so don't worry. We're trying to get rid of all the real obvious sources of carbs like rice, pasta and bread and stuff. But things like nuts, avocados, you know, your protein shakes, the vegetables we're gonna eat, they're all gonna have a certain amount of carbs, but the majority of it is coming from good fibrous carbs, which is what we want, because I'm trying to keep my fiber now today at 35 minimum. That's the target I want to hit, to make sure everything's still getting through my system, because I normally get a lot of my fiber, because I don't eat much veg usually, from things like the bread and the oats and the cereals that I eat. So yeah, so it's important to make sure we're still getting those in, and don't worry about the carb content. That's why we put 50 grams on a low carb day as sort of like the try and hit this area, because you are going to have carbs, and usually if you're having just veg sauces and things like that, you're not going to go too far above 50 grams. So the nuts I've chosen are walnuts and almonds. Almonds great for you, but I've chosen to bring in walnuts recently because I need to up my omega-3 game, and omega-3 is in walnuts but it's not in almonds. So this is my attempt at getting that up. And then I'm gonna add in some cinnamon because it does have benefits. I like the taste and I'm not having it in my porridge obviously at the moment. Then my protein, Impact Whey Protein, vanilla flavor. I chose the vanilla flavor for shakes because you get to taste the other things that are in there as well. That's why I think vanilla is great if you're having smoothies and stuff. Whereas if you're having strawberry or chocolate, you know, that tends to be the dominant sort of flavor and you can't notice anything else that's in it. That's my smoothie, real simple, really high fat, because I'm trying to gain a lot of my fat in this because I don't want to be eating oil all day. That's something I was gonna say. I do have oil on my meals, and you can choose to have things like avocado oil or flaxseed oil and stuff like this instead of actually having the foods, but you're not gonna get the fiber that comes with them as well as some of the other vitamins then. So when possible, go for the foods, not the oils, if you can, and don't just eat oils all day long. Also, I don't think it's going to be great on the digestive system when you just got all this like oily fat just sitting in your stomach, you know. It's probably not going to come out too great, you know. But don't waste all that that's in there. Just get some water around here, just give it a swirl so you can get out. There you go. Next meal, little tip for you, pre-prep like all your meat in one go, or all your veg in one go, so that you can just grab it, measure it, done. 200 grams of chicken with miscellaneous veg. I've put in like the sprouts and asparagus as like just overall numbers because I'm gonna eat this today sometime, you know. Normally carrots wouldn't be a go-to veg for a low-carb diet, but we had 2 carrots in the fridge, so I just thought, well, I might as well use them up. It's not going to be a huge amount of calories, it's not going to throw me off. So that is my next meal. Oh, and also I'm going to add some olive oil, which I've got in one of these, because it's so much easier to put in, less mess. On the bigger meal, this one, I'm going to have 20 grams, and I put the olive oil on before I heated it up. This is so annoying. When you heat the olive oil up in the microwave or cooking it, you break down all those good fats and you essentially turn it into something pretty much useless. And that's what I've just done. So I think in order to try and salvage that, I think I'm gonna eat it cold. But this actually tastes better. I think when you heat food up, you know, it brings out the flavors more. Well, who the f wants to taste veg, right? So this tastes way better with the soy sauce on. It's great. But the weird thing that's been happening with low-carb diets, which you'll notice, is I feel like weirdly bloated and I'm burping, and that's obviously because like the fiber and stuff, right? And obviously the fat's quite heavy. But I also, my stomach like feels really hungry, like even while I'm eating the food, when I finish the food, I just feel super hungry. That's my leptin levels dropping down probably. But this is the 3rd day now of low carbing. And if you're wondering why I suddenly got my top off, tendency to be a mess eater, so protecting the white top. Yeah. Alright, next little thing is, yes, you can have, where is it? Oh shit, it's in the freezer. Oh no, is it? No, it's fine. So this is just jasmine tea, which you're probably thinking is pretty boring, but if you do want to have like oh, yours is frozen, a 0-calorie drink, then yeah, don't go overboard, because you know obviously they're not good for you. But if you really just got to struggle through those low-calorie, low-carb days, I mean, don't have loads, but maybe one, go for a black coffee then or something instead, just to help you through it. Because this is just something that's just like, it just, oh, mine is frozen a bit. It just tastes a bit better, you know. You just got that boring flavour of veg in your mouth and stuff. This is just keeps you that little bit sane. Gives you something to do as well. Like right now, I'm just like, I want Pop-Tarts, I want cereal. So this is just kind of something to just do in a way, you know. Right, I'm gonna read a book or something, because I'm telling you what, I'm getting more and more like tired and stressed and stuff. And I know it's just the low carbs, it's gonna happen. So I'm just trying my best just to relax, chill, do a couple of productive things if I can. So I'm gonna read right now. That's what I'm gonna do. So, I haven't been completely clear with how do I work around my training and stuff, right, around low carbing. Well, actually for the last 3 days, this is my 3rd day on low carbs. I haven't been to the gym. I've been to the gym doing this, but this is all I've been doing is mobility. I just felt like there was too many areas that were getting sore, and no obvious reason. My shoulders were hurting, my arms been hurting, my wrists, my knees, my lower back, all these things just came within a couple of days, and it just was my body telling me it's time to ease off. And I'm going to go into detail in another video about overtraining and things like this and how to manage it and how to avoid it and stuff anyway. So if I was to be training, because obviously that's going to be the hard thing when you're on low carbs, is training. What I'm either going to be doing for myself is I'm going to take my carbs up to 150 grams a day, which will make it that a little bit easier, and I'll put both of those around my workout. So I'll have 75 before, 75 after. But if you were going to do a completely low carb, like I've done today, where it's like no more than 50 grams, you're basically just gonna have to work through it. You're gonna have to know why you're doing it. Push hard. If you feel like you get really hungry post-workout, try and save more of your calories then. One thing I would say though is coconut oil. I haven't got any at the moment, but it is an oil I do have because it's got loads of saturated fat in it, but it's good saturated fat. Don't have too much of it because the evidence is still sort of torn on how much of it maybe we should be having. But because it's medium chain triglycerides, they're gonna break down perfect during the exercise and be used as energy. They're going to be a go-to source of energy. So that's an idea of having coconut oil before you work out. But apart from that, you're just going to have to stick with it, guys. All right, let me get on with this. So what I forgot to say is that I'm on really low calories for me, and I'm only able to do that because I'm not training. If I was training, I would need to be eating like 3,000. So as you'll see from the foods I'm having and the macros at the end of the day, it would be super hard to hit that amount if I was having basically no carbs. That's why when I start training, I'm gonna have a certain amount of carbs, because otherwise I'm literally gonna have to make up all my calories from fat and protein, which means I'm gonna be eating something stupid like 200 odd grams of fat and 300 grams of protein. It just seems too much and not really doable. I don't know if my body would like that either. So that's just something you should know as well. Like if 2,000 is around where you need to be dieting, then the foods I've put out today are something you can do and follow, no problem. So I'm just out now, just getting a few steps in on the way home from the gym. Decided to walk a really long way home because I'm trying to aim for 10,000 steps a day while I'm on the low carb thing. Since I'm not going to the gym, I figured I'll put out some energy, and walking's obviously not going to be too taxing on my joints and things like that are hurting. So that's why I'm doing this. Right, I'm gonna go home now. Also, check out these views I've got to walk with, right? Look at this, boom, look at that. And then over here, holy shit, look at this. There's a freaking building that's lighting up and shit. Guys, that's not bad, eh? So this is the last real meal, 175 grams of chicken and a little bit of veg, mainly because that's how much chicken I had left and that's how much veg I had left from the batch we made. You know, when you buy in the pack, it's not always the same weight once you've cooked it. Now, normally I wouldn't want to put olive oil on it again for a second meal because I put it on the one earlier. I'd use coconut oil instead, but I don't have that. I'm waiting for it. It's being delivered, so I'm going with 10 grams I think is what I got scheduled. So let's get that over with. Also, on the note of waiting for more stuff, I usually have ground flaxseed as well. I think in America you might call it linseed. You might know whether that's true or right or not. You'll tell me in the comments below. And again, that's another like great source of omega-3. One of the best next to oily fish. And that I would just put in my shake normally because it's ground. A little tip on those as well. When you're buying flaxseed or linseed, don't buy it whole, alright? When it's in the whole seeds, your digestive system can't break that shell. So it literally just passes through the body undigested. So you're literally just shitting your money out. So make sure you buy it ground. It might be called flaxseed meal. Yeah, just a little tip there for you. Also, I've put soy sauce on that. If you want to add salt or pepper, or maybe some herbs and spices, you're more than welcome to, okay? This is what I gotta do when TV doesn't have a brightness function and it's late at night. Netflix and chill in style. Does it actually? May's just telling me, right, that Netflix and chill actually means... See, I thought it might be that, but I thought Netflix and chill was a real thing and people were just like, oh, they use that as like a little excuse. Netflix and chill doesn't mean that, does it? It means Netflix and chilling. I'm never going to use that phrase again now until I know. Let me know in the comments if Netflix and chill is a real thing or if it's So we've got 40 grams of natural peanut butter on the pancake. Now we're going to put 20 grams of blueberries in the middle. And then simples, roll that shit up. The pancake normally looks better than this. I put in way too much water in the mix. so it went funny on the pan and bubbled up, and that was my bad. This is going to be the last thing of the day to eat. I've been looking forward to it all day long, so I'm going to enjoy it. Last couple of things I wanted to mention before we end this. Try to sleep in if you can, because then you got less of the day to be thinking about sugar, right? You might get something called, like, basically a low carb, no carb flu. It's kind of like a fake flu that comes around day 3 or 4, where maybe you get a bit of a blocked nose, you feel a bit run down, get some headaches, but it's just your body trying to adapt to the change in your sugar levels. You'll get through it. It's not going to be that bad. Number 3, take it easy on those artificial sweeteners, because obviously they're bad for you, but also they will mentally have your body telling you that you're craving sugar even more, just because you're so used to that taste and you want it again and again. So take it easy on those. And you may have noticed there's no set meal amount. You don't have to have 6 meals a day every 2 hours. You can just have them when you want, when you need them, as long as you get the macros and the calories in for the day as a whole, because that's the most important thing. If you need any help with training or diet plans, whether it's for bulking or cutting or maintenance, whatever it might be, hit me up on Instagram, drop me a DM or send me an email, and I'll be happy to help. So give me a thumbs up if you like this video, drop a comment below, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you on the flippity flip.